All right, what is up, everybody? I'm back here with another stream, joined by new host of this new podcast every Tuesday night, Scotty. What is up? How you doing?
What's going on, Metro Freak? Glad to be back. Glad to be back on YouTube. We've been boys for a couple of years now. It's only right that we have our own show together again.
Yeah, it's been a very long time since you started making videos. I know you did sports for a while. You did the horoscopes for a while, which is awesome. And astrology is a lot of people are into. I don't get it, but at the same time, a lot of people are into it. So, for people that are into
I
it,
like dabble in a lot of different things, as
right.
you know.
Yeah, exactly. You're really into that stuff. But with that being said, we have a lot to talk about. We have a lot to cover. Obviously, we're going to be doing this every single Tuesday, besides 2 weeks from now, because I think he has something to do, but we'll figure it out. And first topic at hand, Deshaun Jackson out for 4 to 6 weeks with an abdominal surgery. What are your thoughts on that? And who do you think we should get to replace him?
As far as Deshaun goes, it's really unfortunate that, since he hasn't played since week 1, he played 4 snaps against the Bears. It's a really unfortunate situation because the Eagles really relied on him. He's supposed to be a big part of this offense, big part of this team. And now you're probably not going to have him at all. Maybe the playoffs if you get there. It just sucks. So obviously we have to move on, but I want to talk about, the medical staff and the whole organization in general, just like not handling the situation, in my opinion, the best that they could have. I know you can't force someone to, go under the knife to get surgery, but like you think Deshaun have people in his corner and say that have dealt with this before and be like, yo, dude, like, this is your best option. Like if you get surgery now, you could probably play by week 8, week 9. And now everything's went to shit, basically.
Yeah.
So I would explore all options. I mean, AB is obviously the biggest name available. He obviously is a nutcase. We all know this. I've heard Jordan Matthews. I've heard calls for like Mike Wallace. I mean, I don't really think whoever you get is obviously not going to be a game changer unless it's AB, and no one seems to want to touch AB. It's a shame Josh Gordon got signed. It's a shame we couldn't have been in on that, but he's now a Seattle Seahawk. Time will tell. I think it's going to be Jordan Matthews, unfortunately. And I know you're not the biggest Jordan Matthews guy. I think he's just a body, but maybe that's what we need. I'd rather have Jordan Matthews than Mac Hollins out there at this point.
No, you nailed it right on the head. I hate Jordan Matthews. I think he has hands of stone. He's not fast. We need a burner on the outside. We have no one that can stretch the field right now. Like, who do we have? Alshon Jeffrey doesn't like playing for Carson Wentz. It's obvious as day. It's clear as day. And we need to get that one person that goes down the field and catches every single ball going his way.
And there's nobody really out there like that. At least no one with that speed like Deshaun.
There's AB sitting right there, and nobody wants to touch him. His sexual assault case got dropped, and no one wants to bring this guy in because he's
why you think he's that locker room cancer? Like, why not just take a shot? If he fucks up, then just cut him.
Release him. Exactly. It's a low risk, high reward situation. Antonio Brown, he was labeled the best wide receiver in the game 2 years ago. He's just sitting at home, just watching TV, doing absolutely nothing. Why not take a shot on this guy? I know the Eagles are liberal and they like to they don't like to piss off the fan base, but at the same time, you brought in Michael Vick after he killed puppies. So I mean, why not just go low risk, high reward with this guy? See what you got. He's a great talent, and that's all you got to do. It's tomato, tomato, potato, potato. Bring him in, and there you go.
It's nuts that like AB went from literally the best receiver in the game to now not even being on a team in what, a year?
Yeah.
Like it's insane. Like when we played him in like 2015 when we still had a chip, in 2016 with Doug, like we won that game, but the way he, like his grace and his route running and just his hands are obviously probably the best in the game. And like for him not even be on a team, like what the fuck did he do? You know what I mean? Like, I understand the mental part of it. He probably does need to get some help. I think he's just a really sensitive person. And every little thing pretty much bothers him. But I mean, somewhere along the line, like just, go to work, show up, do what you got to do. You don't have to have everyone like you. But I mean, you had a Hall of Fame career building. And now this is like, is he ever going to play again? You know what I mean? It's mind-boggling.
Well, Final Flash in the comment section just brought up something. He said AB won't even be able to play because they'll reopen the investigation if he's on a team again. Even if the charges are dropped, they'll still investigate. But that's the thing. If the charges are dropped, it's called double jeopardy. You can't do that. So, in my opinion, since it was dropped, obviously the girl got paid off. So you could go ahead and sign him. But obviously if the Patriots are getting rid of him, that's telling to me. It is telling, but I just want to see him on this team and see what he could do, you know?
Yeah, I definitely agree. Like you said, it's low risk, high reward. What other options do we have besides a low Jordan Matthews, who we know Jordan Matthews, he's here for a couple games, gets released every year. Like, we need a permanent solution. Obviously, you're probably not going to find that mid-season, but I mean, the Patriots took a shot at him. Why not us?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the Patriots take a shot and then they look the same exact way that they do without him. Well, with them as they do without him. So, I mean, it was kind of like an experiment for them. I understand it. Bill didn't like taking the questions that the reporters were asking consistently. So that probably like tied into everything. But that would be my first option. But what do you think about bringing back, like we touched on it, Jordan Matthews? You know, I'm not a huge fan of him, but Jordan Matthews to me is someone that's used to playing in the system, used to playing in the city. Some people love him, some people hate him, but he is a guy that, you know, he is better than what we have right now, kind of. So what would you think about bringing back someone like him or even someone like Bryce Treggs back?
Hell no on Bryce Treggs.
You don't like Bryce Treggs?
What's that going to do? I think he had that one long catch. I can't remember who they were playing. That's when it's literally, I think obviously that receiving core was worse than this year.
Yeah.
Jordan Matthews, I think that's going to be the pick. I don't really know who else is out there. Obviously, we want someone with experience in this system, and that's what Jordan Matthews has. I'm not going to hate on Jordan Matthews, the person. I know he's a very good person, and he has a friendship with Carson Wentz, which is probably the biggest positive, because obviously we've heard all the rumors that Alshon doesn't get along with Wentz. We're not sure about Aguilar. Obviously, that shouldn't matter if you're working together. It's just like anything else in any type of field. You might not like each other, but you still have to get along and do a good job. It's going to be I don't see them bringing anybody else but Jordan Matthews. I know he was in for a physical today at NovaCare, so it looks like he's going to be the guy. How much impact is he going to have? Time will tell. I think he's just a journeyman at this point. He's better than Matt Collins. I think, Matt Collins got to be faster than him, right?
Well, it's odd. It's odd because Matt Collins doesn't even want to play wide receiver. He literally told the offensive coordinator that he would rather play special teams. All right, and he's out there.
Remember 2017? He had that long fucking bomb. He did the backpack.
Yeah.
And like, what happened to that guy? You know what I mean? I mean, I know it only happened like once or twice, but still, like, he hasn't done anything.
No, he's lost in his own head.
It could be the injury too. I know he was hurt for like a year.
Yeah, that guy's trash, dude. Like, I'm sorry if like someone from his family's watching this right now. Probably not, but like, that guy is pure trash. Like, there's no fixing that guy. And I don't know what's up with Ortega-Whiteside. You know, we drafted this guy in the second round, third round. I don't even remember. And he's been non-existent ever since he dropped that ball against the Detroit Lions. I want to see more of him because, you know, I don't want to say he's trash and he's a waste. I would love to see what we could get out of this kid from Stanford before we move on from him. You know, I feel like he has a lot of talent, but you know what? When you drop a pivotal pass like that could set up a game winner potentially, even if I think it was actually going into the end zone for the game winner. So I don't want to
against Detroit, right?
Detroit. I don't want to put him to the side just yet. I want to see what he's made of, but obviously the coaching staff doesn't like what he brings to the table. So
yeah, and like, it's a shame he's a first-year player, second-round pick, but it's different with receivers. You know what I mean? They could say like a offensive lineman needs time to develop, a quarterback, but receiver, you're literally just catching the ball. You know what I mean? Like, you either can do that or you can't at this level. Obviously, route running, learning the playbook, you know, that goes into it. But it's like, receiver's such a natural position. It's like either you have it or you don't. Like, there's not that much of a learning curve. Obviously, like I said, route running and different types of plays and such. But like, you know, if you're a bread-winning receiver, like if you're a top receiver, it should just come natural to you. Like, am I wrong? Like,
no, you're not.
You know what I mean? Like, even like, look at Antonio Brown. He was a 5th-round pick. I'm not sure when he was officially named the starter.
6th.
But they knew from the get-go, like, he was going to be a great player.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So we could say that about Aguilar. Look how long it took him to become even a solid player, but he's obviously regressed this year. It's a shame. And I'm not really sure. Obviously, Aguilar is pretty much all mental because I always go back to 2017. Like, it's pretty much the same offense. Alshon, Ertz, Aguilar, and they all look completely different. And they had Wentz for 7 weeks of that season. So it's like, what changed in under 2 years? You know what I mean?
You want to know what changed with Nelson Aguilar within 2 years? It's the fact that they're making him the guy, and he's not. He doesn't like playing as the guy.
He's not playing in the slot. You know? He probably feels more pressure. But like, I don't know, you're getting paid to catch the ball. You got one job. You're still, I know it's not your position, but like you're still doing the same thing. You're going down the field catching a pass. It shouldn't matter like where you line up on the field to catch a ball. You know what I mean? I can see if you can't you can't beat the defender, get separation, but you're doing that. You're just not catching the ball. So that's where it's a mental game.
Well, it's just a shame because, like I said on my other show with Darius and Philly 500, Nelson Aguilar has some of the fastest footwork in the NFL, and it's really a shame because he's putting it to waste, basically afraid to catch the ball. Against Dallas when we were there, he didn't like dive for it or go more out for it. He just let it fall, and it's just a shame because I don't want to give up on Nelson Aguilar, but this is his fifth year, I think. So
yeah, I would definitely. I mean, if you got to pay this man anywhere between 8 and 12 million, that's a clear no.
He's making 9.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'd rather have Jordan Matthews, like we're saying now, someone that's just like, somewhat reliable. Yeah. You know what I mean? I would like to talk a little bit about Wentz because I know everyone's been blaming the receivers.
Yeah.
But me and you kind of have similar views on Wentz. Is it the receivers' fault? How the offense is like stalled out, not been as productive as it needs to be a playoff team. No. And it's like, it's just weird, man. Like Wentz I think he's definitely improved since, we saw him in Dallas. That was probably his worst game ever as a professional, maybe in his whole life. But it's hard to blame, one person. I think it's not just the receivers, it's Wentz too.
Well, that's another thing I wanted to bring up. Like Carson Wentz, like either you love him, you hate him, or it's in between. You're trying to figure out what happens from here. But at the same time, I like Carson Wentz. Obviously, I'm a Nick Foles guy because he won the Super Bowl. But the thing about Carson Wentz is, to me, it just seems like a guy that's not regressed, but he's just trying to press. He wants to win the Super Bowl so badly that he's playing over his means. And by that, he's failing. Like, I mean, not failing, but he's like, I don't know. It's just nothing's working. You know what I'm saying? Like everyone's saying that the wide receiver core isn't the best for him. Alshon Jeffrey's not playing for him. Alshon Jeffrey just dropped that wide open pass the other day, which really pissed me off. Alshon Jeffrey's been absolutely terrible since the Saints game. But Carson
could be that he's hurt coming back from the injury too.
Yeah, I mean, he might be a little bit hurt, but
it's not excused. But like, it just doesn't make much sense. Even last year, I did hear that Alshon, he didn't play good in the Saints game. In the playoffs, obviously, like he dropped the pass, so it could have started from then.
Yeah,
and who knows? That might be a mental game too. Like, he obviously was hard on himself, thinks that he lost the game for us. So this honestly all could be a mental thing.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, you're right. I mean. But like we just said, we have Nelson Aguilar, Zach Ertz, who literally came back this week. Like, I mean, coming back as in going back to his form. He's been like on a milk carton for like the last 3 weeks. And Dallas Goedert, we need to get him more in the open field. So we have the talent there, but at the same time, I just feel like I said, I feel like Wentz is pressing, and I don't like to hate on the guy. I really don't. But he does need to become more of a team leader, and he needs to show everybody that he can take over a game like he did against Buffalo. He ran for the first down and a lot. He ran for the first down like 5 times, and I just feel like he needs to take over the game more. Like when the pocket's collapsing, he just needs to run away, roll out, and make the play his bitch. You know what I'm saying? And he just doesn't do it.
Yeah, absolutely. I would agree with that.
Yeah, but I'm gonna get some of these comments real quick. A lot of people are saying that AB isn't worth it. Christmas Abes is saying AB is not worth it. He would cause more problems in the locker room anyway. Yeah, but at that point, does it really matter? Because right now we kind of look like that team that's just like in plateau mode. Like we're not going up, we're not going down, we're just sitting there. So wouldn't you want to risk it just to like try to put us to the next level instead of worrying about the locker room? Like that's just
I would agree. I mean, like we've beaten 2 bad offenses. Let's be honest. Like obviously I'm going to call you out a little bit after we went to like Dallas together. You thought we couldn't even beat the Dolphins or any team after that Cowboys game, which was just pure emotion. That's how you felt in the moment. I did think you were overreacting a little bit. So we know this team can beat like average or bad teams, but like we play the Patriots and the Seahawks after this bye week. Like those are both top 5 teams in the league.
Yeah.
far, by far. You know what I mean? So without a capable wide receiver in this offense, how are you going to fare against the best teams in the league?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You're not. And the thing about the New England Patriots is they're just coming off of a loss against the Baltimore Ravens.
Oh, yeah, they're pissed.
What was that?
They said they're pissed as hell, I'm sure.
The Baltimore Ravens just smacked them in the face, and they're coming off a bye, and Tom Brady has never lost in Philly. And this is the first time that Tom Brady is facing the Philadelphia Eagles since he lost in the Super Bowl. So you have all of these advantages when you're the New England Patriots going into this game. This game scares the shit out of me. It really does. And I'm going to touch on this just a little bit. Like, how do you see this game playing out? Because the way the offense has looked this year, we're really lackluster. And our defense, let's be honest, our secondary isn't that good. And the pass rush has just been non-existent at times. So what do you think? What do you think is going to happen in this Patriots game?
This is probably the most anticipated game of the year, at least left, besides obviously Dallas, who we've lost to 4 straight times. That's going to be a huge game. Coming into the season, when I did my own schedule prediction, I somehow thought the Eagles would pull this out because they're at home, and obviously you beat them in the Super Bowl. You kind of have a little bit of a game plan, but this is a completely different defense than when we faced them in the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? So that does scare me a lot. I still think we have like a 50-50 winning, to be honest. Wentz has never played Patriots. We just saw what Lamar Jackson did to that Patriots defense. So, and, Wentz, he has been running more lately in these past 2 games. So that might be a little something they can do, game plan, as far as, getting Wentz out of the pocket, making plays on the move. So that's encouraging. But anytime you're going up against, Bill Belichick and Tom Brady, you can't make mistakes. And we have limited them in the past 2 games. I mean, this season has been just like, it's like, are they even preparing during the week between the turnovers and the penalties? Like it's week 9 now, week 10 when we play again. You got to clean that stuff up, and you're not going to beat the Patriots if you turn the ball over. You're just not.
No.
You
know the problem with this offense is it's Mike Groh. Mike Groh is one of the worst offensive coordinators I've ever seen in my lifetime. I don't know why this guy's still working with the offense. This guy sucks. He's atrocious. Anyone else could do the job better. You could literally grab a bum off the street and they do a better job than Mike Groh's doing. So I don't know why he's working the offense. Everyone blames Jim Schwartz, but Jim Schwartz has trash as cornerbacks. So I don't know what else you want from Jim Schwartz. The pressure's not getting there. And we have some of the best defensive linemen in the league. Timmy Jernigan came back, thank God. But I really think that people need to stop blaming Jim Schwartz for all the downfalls, because he's really not that bad of a defensive coordinator. Who are you going to get that's better? Rex Ryan? Yeah, good luck with that, because Rex Ryan literally just dissed Doug Peterson. So I'm pretty sure Doug Peterson doesn't have
not helping his case at all being on ESPN. He might never get a job. I mean, he doesn't have he's just saying whatever he wants, which I think it's great TV.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're not going to make friends being that opinionated.
Yeah, you're not. And like, I would love Rex Ryan here as a defensive coordinator. He was a great defensive coordinator with the Baltimore Ravens. He was a great defensive mind with the New York Jets as their head coach. But he would never get a gig here because he trashed Doug Peterson. So who else do you want? I mean, you're not going to bring in anyone better than Jim Schwartz at this point. Jim Schwartz is a Super Bowl winning defensive coordinator. And when he had Stephon Gilmore with the Buffalo Bills, his defense was ranked 5 in the league. So if you give him the talent, he could work with it, and he'll win you football games. But we don't have the talent, and everyone's going to blame him.
I think too about the Eagles, like this organization, like they don't forget anything. Like Eagles Twitter, like they're going to pull up stuff from like 3-4 years ago, and they're going to give you a reason. I'm not going to say we're like a salty organization, but like I guess we're clever in a way. But if you diss this team, like you're just done. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're screwed.
Like other teams, like, maybe they're not as, they don't do their homework. It's like we see everything. It's this front office. They know what's being said, who said it, who we can trust, who we can't trust. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. But, that'll definitely put a dagger in Rex Ryan's hopes to coach this defense. And honestly, I like Jim Schwartz, so I don't see him going anywhere anyway. But that's my opinion. We're all entitled to opinion, and my opinion's right. So whatever.
My opinion.
John Babb is saying AB is worth it. He also asks, are we still friends, Nitro? Yeah, man. I mean, you piss me off sometimes, but you're 21 now. Maybe we'll have a beer sometime. He also said, this is our year. Birdman99 says Wentz isn't the one dropping passes, bro. Well, he's also not stepping up in the pocket and making the defense get on their heels. And guess what's coming next? You know, as a quarterback, it is your job, especially when you have some mobility, to run around a little bit and keep the defense guessing, make time for the wide receivers to get open in the open field. And he's not doing any of that. He's just standing there like a fucking goon in the pocket as it collapses when he's not a pure pocket passer. And, you know, he needs to take over the game. And I know I'm criticizing Wentz a little bit too much, but someone has to say it, and it's damn sure going to be me, because I can say whatever the fuck I want. And Wentz he's not good enough. He's not good enough.
You made a good tweet. I think you put on Facebook too earlier in the week. Like, people rip McNabb to shreds. Yeah. You know, and they blame McNabb. And I guess they said the receivers were bad back then, but the focus was more on McNabb. I don't know why that is. Maybe because McNabb was such a bigger name than people like Todd Pinkston and, you know, whoever else we had at receiver. But, you know, I don't know. Wentz is, I think because he had that MVP campaign, people just want to look in that light. He's just far from where he was, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, that MVP season was special, but at the same time, you know, people look at that way too much, like he could get back to that. When
I mean, look at Cam Newton, right? He was amazing, 15-1. Now, obviously, he's hurt, but he's never like that in any season since, right?
He was great that season. All of a sudden, he got hurt. He didn't dive for the fumble, and he's never been the same since. So
it's the same. It's life. People peak, people don't. Like, you know, only, you know, the best quarterbacks in history have been able to do it consistently. Tom Brady, Big Ben, Phillip Rivers, Drew Brees. I guess we'll take Phillip Rivers out of that conversation now. But
I like
Aaron Rodgers.
Phillip Rivers. If there's one thing I could say about Phillip Rivers is that he's very consistent at what he does. And, you know, he just doesn't change his style. He doesn't change his style of play. He still throws that weird-ass ball with the sidearm passes. Like, it looks like his shoulder's getting ripped out of his fucking socket. He does that every single game. He doesn't change up his style. Wentz trying to change into a pocket passer to avoid injury after we paid him is clearly not working, and it's not good enough. And people try to blame the wide receivers. But if we're paying you $128 million, with 107 guaranteed, I want you to play the game we paid you to play. You know, and he's just not doing that. He looks like a shell of himself, and I don't like it. He needs to go back to what he played before, even if it means risk an injury. We paid you to play the game that we drafted you for. Play your game.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, running is part of his game. Obviously, with Jordan Howard now being involved, that's definitely helped and taken the pressure off of Wentz. But he's still, like, you know what I mean? He's still. I think how many touchdowns did he have against Chicago? 1. I mean, like, that's all I guess he needed to win, to beat the Bears. But, you know, to beat the Patriots, we're gonna need to have 100 yards passing, 3 touchdowns.
Right.
And we've been seeing that from Wentz since, the beginning of the year?
Yeah. No, Wentz looked pretty good against Washington, but that's because he had Deshaun Jackson and he could air it out all day. But now that he can't air it out and doesn't have that one wide receiver that stretches the field, he needs to change up the game a little bit to where he could make his other wide receivers create separation. And like I just said, if you're standing in the pocket, not running around using your legs, how is that going to help out the team? Like, just people don't understand this, and I don't get it. Like, am I the only one that sees this? And if that isn't working, you definitely have to pound the ball more, and that also falls on the coaches, because the other day we were pounding the rock well, and we went away from it, and the Bears almost came back to win the game. So that's another issue I have. But this team is just so full of it's a team full of mystery. I'll say that right now, because this is also a team that I think could get into the playoffs. But I don't know if they'll do anything. They just don't look like a team that is destined for anything right now. But I guess we'll see after the bye.
I think they'll be able to compete in the division. But the point is, like we said, like, we have our Super Bowl now. Like, we want to compete with the best teams in the league. You know, we're not playing for second place. We never were, but especially now, because we know we want to taste how that feels again. You know, we can probably beat Dallas. You know what I mean? Because I don't really think Dallas is still that good. Obviously, they kicked our ass when we went down there for the But we're looking to compete with the Saints, the 49ers, the Pack. We did beat the Packers, which was a good win. But you're not going to do that with, you know, no passing game. You know what I mean? This is a passing league. Obviously, we love the run game. Jordan Howard has stepped up in recent weeks, but you got to be able to throw the football to win in the playoffs.
Yeah, and I mean, everyone likes to look at that Packers win like it was a great win, but people fail to realize that if Devontae Adams didn't get hurt in that game, we probably would have lost because Devontae Adams was
I mean, that's
torching.
like a what if. That's a what if. I mean, you can't control injuries. If we had to show on, I'm sure we would have beat the Lions and the Falcons.
Yeah,
So I mean, everything happens. We can't control injury, but you're probably right.
yeah, we would have got fucking smoked. But Philly Ace 21 says they need to get back to play action for the Eagles. I agree. They haven't they haven't done much of it this year, and they need to do something. They need to do some switcheroo. And I don't think Doug Peterson, he lost his balls or something because he doesn't go for it on fourth down that much anymore. I think he did it once last game, but there's a moment in the game where I expected him to go on like 4th and 6, and he punted it away. And I was like, dude, this Doug Peterson in 2017 would have went for it. And I just don't understand where the Doug I know is going. But
yeah, Doug has. I don't want to say all of his tricks are gone. I think he definitely needs to stick to what he knows. But I kind of want to put a positive spin on this because we haven't been pretty negative. I am really impressed with Miles Sanders as of late. I was kind of like down on him, or like we're really relying on like a 2nd-round pick. I mean, for like so much of our running game, but he's really stepped up to the plate the past 2 weeks. He looks fast, young, hungry, and we don't have that much on this offense.
right.
I'm also still really impressed with Dallas Goedert. I think he's a stud.
Right.
Always makes plays, moves the chain. Like I said, we need someone reliable on this offense. Ertz also looked pretty good against the Bears. And the defense, ever since Ronald Darby and Jalen Mills have been back, I do a radio show for ESPN 610 every Tuesday too, and they gave this stat earlier. The Eagles are 15-5 when Darby and Mills are both playing together as the 1 and 2 corners. So that's encouraging. And also the defensive line has stepped up. Obviously, you're playing Mitch Trubisky, but you have to make the plays when they're there to be made. Basically,
Right.
A nice game from Brandon Graham, a couple sacks. Fletcher Cox looking better, and Fletcher Cox. Let me say something about him. He really needs to take over, the rest of the way, take over the defense, and be that, number 2. Obviously, Aaron Donald, you probably would say, is the number 1 D tackle.
Yeah, 100%.
He has to be that number. Like, he has to be a defensive MVP. You know what I mean? He really has to turn on the Jets. I know there were some rumors about him being injured earlier in the season. I think now that he has Tim Jernigan back, a little bit pressure off of his plate. We want to make a deep run here. Fletcher Cox is going to be an important piece. You're paying the guy $100 million.
Well, that's the thing. I feel like he's been playing part of the season injured because he just came off of foot surgery. So I mean, he has been on the milk carton as of lately, but at the same time, you expect your $100 million man to step up and create pressure, and I feel like he's been doing it recently. But you just need more of it. You need more of him to. You just need Fletcher Cox to play, especially with Timmy Jernigan right next to his side. And it's just one of those things. You need Fletcher Cox to perform. You need him to step up. You need him to create pressure because it also helps out the secondary. And if everything goes the way it's according to plan, we could get back to 2017. But it's a mystery right now, and I just don't know. We'll see. And Philly Ace says Fletcher Cox always gets double teamed on the field. Yeah, he does because he's that special. But at the same time, Fletcher Cox used to be that guy that always broke through the double teams.
Still make plays. And also, like, say he's getting double teamed, but there's someone else that's not getting blocked or double teamed, so they could be making a play. And, like I said, the past 2 weeks have been a lot better, but we need to see it. We need to make our playmakers who we're paying top dollar for make plays.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, of the Andrew Sendejo released today.
Yeah, Sendejo got released today. I always thought that Andrew Sendejo was a bum. I never liked him in the first place. I remember when LeGarrette Blount trucked him against the Minnesota Vikings in the NFC Championship game.
Yeah.
Yeah, he sucked. I don't know why we brought him in, but
I thought he would be better than what he was. I mean, he pretty much looks like his career's just done.
Yeah, he sucks. I mean, I think we got back a 4th-round compensatory pick because he didn't make it on our team, so that's always good. And we could add a better piece than Andrew Sendejo. Like, fuck him.
He looked slow. It just looked like he was out of it. His head wasn't in it. I remember him doing an interview in training camp where he was just like a standoffish person. Another person that I think didn't fit with the culture here that they're trying to build, and everyone be open, talk about like how you feel, like what's going on. That, you know what I mean? Like the Doug Peterson relating to the players.
Yeah.
And I think Sendeo just didn't fit that.
No.
Kind of like a Zach Brown didn't fit it too.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And Zach Brown's release was actually it was kind of a shocker to me, but at the same time, you can't have a player like that saying what he said, calling Kirk Cousins terrible, and then going out to play the way he did. You can't have that. And I know Doug Peterson guaranteed a victory against Dallas Cowboys. Everyone's saying, why isn't Doug fired? Why isn't he cut? Well, he's the head coach, and he won us a Super Bowl. Zach Brown didn't win us a Super Bowl, and that's just the way the cookie crumbles sometimes, you know? That's football. And you know what? Zach Brown wasn't playing that good anyway, so whatever. He wasn't producing.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Bleeding Green says, do you think we could get creative and use Sanders to stretch the field? I don't think Sanders can stretch the field. That's the thing. You know, it's just one of those things. He's good at catching the pass out of the backfield and running for it for like 20 yards, but at the same time, you need that burner. He's not a burner. He's a running back. So, yeah, that would never, ever work. Loopy said Michael Bennett on the Cowboys kind of sucks. Kind of. It does suck. I don't know. That worked out for the Cowboys pretty well. The Cowboys look really good right now. It sucks.
Yeah, they do. Again, we're going to have Michael Bennett here long term. Probably not. I don't think the Cowboys are even going to re-sign him, you know, this coming off season due to their cap. And, you know, he's that type of player that you add him to like trying to go on a run, which is what they did. But I don't know. It doesn't really bother me that much. I know people were saying the same thing about Golden Tate last night. Oh, I wish he was an Eagle. I'm like, I don't know. I really think like you weren't going to sign these people to long-term contracts. So it is what it is. We got the most we could out of him last year. We're not going to pay this guy, you know, $10, $15 million for 5 years.
Yeah.
So just part of the NFL.
Yeah, and going back to the Miles Sanders theory with Bleeding Green, he said he has breakaway speed, but that's the thing. He has breakaway speed. He doesn't have burner speed. We need someone on the outside that goes from 0 to 100 in less than 3 seconds, and he's just not that guy. So, yeah, I mean, I like people that I like the hype for Miles Sanders, especially because he's a rookie and people love the guy. I understand that, but he's not that type of player to where he has that burner speed. And the Eagles 01 says, "Are you guys ever going to take calls?" Yeah, eventually we're going to take calls, but this is the first podcast, so we're going to figure all that out. You know, I gotta pull my tricks and ask Bad Dog what he does for the call-in show. And yeah,
we also need a name, right?
We do need a name. If you guys have suggestions out there, hit us up with it. Maybe the winner gets a prize or something like that. But I would definitely love to take calls. But the thing about taking calls is I'd have to go from like an hour show to like an hour and a half show because taking calls takes up time.
Especially like the technical side of it too.
Yeah. I would definitely take calls though. And Eagles 01 is a fan from 2 years ago, the Philly guys. Yeah, I remember. I mean, that to me, that name is a little bit lame. It's a little bit like kind of boring. He also recommends that we should go 2 hours if we took calls, which I wouldn't be against. But yeah, we got to figure out a name first because this is going to be a regular thing. Because definitely me and Scotty are like really good friends. And yeah, I mean, Scotty and the Freak. I don't know if that really works.
Right?
It's like too nonchalant. Sco Freak, too nonchalant.
Sco Freak.
Yeah. No,
whatever. We got get a week to decide. Write in your best names.
Yeah, best name.
Sure we can think of something by next week.
Hey, think about it, guys. If you give us the right name, you'll have the credit for the rest of existence.
Someone said the Hooligans. That was your old show.
We'll bring that back.
Right.
Hey, I made up that name, you know, but
that was more with Rob. He was the hooligan. You know what I mean?
He was. He was the crazy bastard, and then he got axed, unfortunately.
I don't fit anymore.
Yeah. Philly Ace says Howie Roseman should have gotten Robbie Anderson for second-round pick. I disagree with that. I think Robbie Anderson isn't that good of a player at all. especially because he's with the Jets and he's not balling out there. If he comes here, I feel like he'd be more of a Nelson Aguilar option. A second-round pick for Robbie Anderson was not worth it at all. So
I would have tried to get AJ Green. I don't know
but he's
why.
always injured though, and they would have tried to fleece us. So
I would give up a first and a third. Am I crazy for saying that?
First and
For
a
AJ
third for
Green?
AJ Green.
Yeah, I would do it.
I would do that for Patrick Robinson, not AJ Green.
Patrick Robinson you mean Patrick Peterson?
Yeah, Patrick Peterson, not Patrick Robinson.
Is he hurt? I don't know. I think if you're really trying to make a run this year, I would have given that up. To be honest, he is always hurt. I think he's gonna come back. They have a bye this week too, just like us. Gonna come back the following week.
Yeah,
but I would have taken a shot. I don't know.
You would have taken a shot for AJ Green.
Yeah, I over Robbie Anderson. I don't know. I just think Robbie Anderson. He's a speedster, but like he's kind of like a Golden Tate, not the same player, but like, are we really going to re-sign Robbie Anderson type thing? If we had AJ Green, and he balled out, like he would be our new number one receiver.
Yeah, but then again, AJ Green is like 31 years old now, and 31 is like ancient history in the NFL.
I'm gonna look up how old he is.
I mean, he's pretty old. He's not young.
AJ Green was always, he's right behind AB, and Julio, is he really that old now?
AB's 30.
Yeah, he's 31.
Yeah.
It is. I mean, look at Deshaun this year. We got screwed. He's 32. I loved AJ Green in his prime. It's a shame he's such a wasted player. Honestly, he made the Bangles, made the playoffs a couple times, never won a playoff game. But I think AJ Green's right up there with Terrell Owens, Chad Johnson as far as talent goes. You know what I mean? Deshaun. Yeah. He was a real number one.
Kyle Radio. It's just too nonchalant.
Oh God, that's like depressing. Scott and Kyle Radio.
It's really depressing. It's like, welcome to Scott and Kyle Radio. How are you guys doing today?
Yeah,
I'm about to kill myself.
Where's like the creative juices flowing? You guys are on YouTube and Twitter all day. Like, come on, let's think of something better than that.
Yeah. Nah. Same as Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald's my boy, but Fitzgerald is like 34 years old. And we had a chance to get Fitzgerald back in 2008. They actually offered him to us in 2008 when they went to the Super Bowl. And Scotty's camera went out, so we'll get him back. But they offered us a selection to get him to Philadelphia. I think it was like a first-round pick, and we said no to that. Imagine if Fitzgerald was here for that whole time during the light years with Andy Reid. That would have been awesome.
I know. Well, McNabb tried to get him to come out here, but apparently Fitzgerald, he's probably going to try and go into politics out in Arizona. That's what I've kind of heard from a couple sources. So he doesn't really want to leave there. But, I mean, I guess, to try and go to a contender would be, tempting. But I think he wants to, not ruin his chances by going to another team and then trying to go back there.
Right.
But I mean, Brian Dawkins, he did the same thing. He went to the Broncos, and obviously we welcomed him with open arms, but everybody's different. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What's all right? EP says, what's more important, a nasty? Yeah. What's more important, a nasty pass rush or good corners? They're gonna throw flags anyway. Laugh my ass off. Smashing QBs is what wins games. More important is a nasty pass rush over good corners, 100% of the time. Because if you get pass rush to the quarterback, it's going to throw their game off. And if your cornerbacks are at least average, they're going to be good enough to catch that ball when he throws a duck in the air. So it's definitely more important to have a nasty pass rush for sure.
I think you at least have to have one. If you don't have either, then you're screwed. I'm going to go with, I'm going to go with pass rush too.
Yeah.
Because you could say, how long could a corner really hold a receiver without drawing a flag? I think the only person to be able to do that in history is Deion Sanders. So you don't have a Deion or a Patrick Peterson, Darrelle Revis in his prime. Then a corner's going to give up a touchdown at some point. You know what I mean?
Well, Deion couldn't tackle. That was his.
He didn't have to. He shut off a whole side of the field. Yeah, honestly, you know what I mean. I just watched something today, to make a claim for him being the best player of all time, which is art in football. You know what I mean?
It's probably Lawrence Taylor, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I saw that. That's what somebody else said. They said Brady, Lawrence Taylor, and Deion, which obviously all fucking Hall of Famers and Brady future Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
But I guess I would agree with you with pass rush. It's more important to have pass rush.
100%, because look at our secondary against Tom Brady. When Case Keenum threw that duck to P-Rob, a pass rush got to him and it threw him off. And our secondary wasn't that good that year. We had the same exact players that we did that year.
I mean, look at Brandon Graham in the Super Bowl. It doesn't make that strip sack. We may never have our first title.
Nope. He's
not my boy or nothing, but
yes. yeah. Brandon Graham is not my boy either, but he
definitely is mine. I mean, he's kind of come on a little bit second half of the year, but I mean, he'll always be an Eagles for that strip sack. So
huge Eagles legend. Alex Sanchez said Ed Reed. That's a good one. But if you say Ed Reed, you have to put Brian Dawkins in that conversation too. Because
I would agree. Wait, what is he talking about for greatest safeties?
Greatest players of all time, and he said Ed Reed.
That's a stretch.
Yeah, that's
he did.
Stretch.
Did he have 2 Super Bowls with the Ravens? Was he there for the first one?
Yep.
Okay. Well, I guess safety is kind of hard to be the greatest player of all time. I would think quarterback, receiver, obviously defensive end with Lawrence Taylor. He has to be a player that affects the game each and every play. Like if it's a run play, is the safety really involved? I mean, sometimes they can't make the tackle, but it's hard to be considered the greatest player if they're not involved in every play, or at least like game planned for. Like obviously Lawrence Taylor, like holy shit, he's got to be like triple teamed. You know what I mean? So it makes more sense to say someone like him.
Yeah, I agree. He said Steve Atwater is a very underrated safety. He deserves to be in the Canton already. Steve Atwater, heard of him. I need to look him up because I don't really remember. I wasn't born back in the 70s. I was born in 92. So I heard of the name. I know that makes
you weren't born when it was black and white.
Yeah,
on
I wasn't
TV.
born when it was black and white. I wasn't born for the Immaculate Reception, which happened to be one of the best plays of all time.
That was in color. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Philly specialist. Ooh, we might have a winner, Scotty.
I do like that.
Philly specialists.
Let's write that down. Our mental note.
Right. We might have a winner.
Clash White Same, I think said that. Give him a little shout out. Or Clash with Same, not White. Clash with Same.
Ooh, I like that. I like that a lot. That might be our new show name.
Philly Specialist is kind of weird, no offense.
It might be a little weird, but it clicks. It clicks.
We're different types of people, so I guess that kind of plays in it a little bit.
Yeah, Philly Specialist is. I like it. I like that name. Like, I mean, Tim Ginley is saying. I think he said earlier, you look like someone from NSYNC or something like that. It was cracking me every time I'm with you. Try not to laugh.
Let me see that comment.
Alex Sanchez.
Every time I'm with you. I'll take it, right? At least I'm memorable. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But yeah, we might have a winner there. I like that name a lot. I really like that name. And it was who said that? It was Clash with the Same, right?
Clash with Same with 2 E's on Same.
Clash with Same. Okay. We might have a winner. I'll think about that. But yeah, we have 15 minutes left. Let's run down prediction.
Somebody wrote a Chips and Nick.
Chips and
Nick.
Nah, I like Philly Specialists. I like that name.
I think that's the name.
Yeah, that's the name. You got a winner. I'll actually put that in the title after this show, and I'll give you full credit in the description. How about that? We have a winner.
That's pretty cool.
Yep.
Absolutely. You want to do some game picks before we got like 15, 16 minutes left? You want to pick? The Eagles are on a bye, but there's a lot of football being played on Sunday.
Yep. All right. So I'm gonna go with, what is it? Week 9.
It is. I don't even know. Is it week 9 or 10?
It's week 10. All right. So we got the Thursday game. Chargers at Raiders.
We want to keep track of our picks, like, and see, like, go week to week. I think
Yeah,
that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right, so hold on. Let me put it in my phone real quick. You start saying the first game.
All right, Chargers at Raiders. The Raiders are a 1-point underdog at home. This is Thursday night.
You want to make the pick first?
Yeah, I'll go the Raiders. I feel like the Chargers are coming off an emotional win against the Green Bay Packers. You know, that always gets everyone's spirits up, but then they're going to the road to face a really tough, gritty Raiders team right now. They're playing really well. I feel like they're 4-4 with John Gruden this year. I have the Raiders winning this game. I feel like the Chargers are due for a letdown, and the Raiders go to 5-4.
This game is in Oakland, right?
Yep. Thursday
night. Both of these teams are still alive. The Chargers looked like they were just done after a couple weeks. You know, bad losses. This was supposed to be a playoff team. You know, they were 12-4 last year. Recently, in recent weeks, they've been turning it on. Joey Bosa has looked like the stud that I think he is. Him and his brother, man, my God, talk about a amazing athletic family. Like, holy shit. You know what I mean? Probably top 10 in the league. Do you agree, Nick Bosa and Joey Bosa?
Yep, I agree with that.
I'm going to take the Chargers to be a little bit different.
Okay.
I think that win in Green Bay was huge, and they can try and build upon that. I just don't really trust John Gruden yet. I kind of want him to be successful. Just like I'm rooting for him type thing. But I think the Chargers just have so much talent. Like Joey Bosa, I can just see him sacking Derek Carr all day.
Right.
So I'm definitely going to pick the Chargers there.
It's not a bad pick. All right, next game on the schedule: Lions at Bears.
What was the spread on that game? Sorry to interrupt.
Oh, the Raiders game. It was a +1 for the Raiders.
Yeah, so it's literally 50-50.
All right. Lions at Bears. The Bears are a -2.5, 2.5-point favorite.
We just saw the Bears. They are a bad football team right now. The Lions have a lot of talent. I'm going to go with the Lions here. They haven't been able to stack as many wins in recent weeks together. But if the Lions want to have any shot at a wild card or, you know, being competitive, I'm going to take the Lions. The Lions are still a pretty decent team. So I'm going to take the Lions here.
All right. There's no way in fuck that the Chicago Bears lose 5 in a row. I'm taking the Bears. The Bears are at home. Yeah, they're not losing 5 in a row. I don't really care the circumstances. The Lions did lose last week as well.
It's Trubisky, though. I mean, this could be a downfall for Trubisky. He might just be done. You know,
yeah, it's a divisional game. They know each other pretty well, and I feel like they do some trickery shit this week and change it up. The Bears go.
I like how we're having different picks. This makes it more interesting, especially for next week. See who's right.
I just think that the Bears win this week. I don't see them losing 5 in a row. All right, next game. Ravens at Bengals. Bengals are a 10-point home underdog.
Lord, I don't think we even got to really talk about this game. Ravens, right?
Yeah, I got the Ravens.
Bengals are just god awful. They're worse than the Dolphins, but no one talks about the Bengals. I haven't heard the Bengals mentioned on any show all year. That's how bad they are.
Yeah,
people at least talk about the Dolphins. No one cares about the Bengals.
They've lost every single game so far. All right, so we're both on the Bengals. All right, Bills at Browns.
Definitely the Bengals.
Wait, what?
You said Bengals. We're both on the Ravens.
And I got the Ravens. All right, Bills at Browns. The Browns are the 3-point favorite, which is kind of shocking to me because the Browns have been kind of disappointing this year. Who do you got?
This is the Browns' last hope. If they don't win this game, it's pretty much done. They really needed to beat the Broncos last week. But, I mean, Baker Mayfield has just been a huge disappointment. I mean, all those commercials that he's in, and then they just are playing like shit. Like, it's got to be, like, just so embarrassing. He's a confident young kid, so I give him a lot of credit. I don't think his confidence has been shaken. So I'm going to pick the Browns because, like, if they don't win this game, it's over.
Right.
You know what I mean? And the Bills are a little overrated to me. They beat a lot of bad teams. I mean, we just went up there and pretty much blew them out.
Right.
And who did they just beat last week?
Eagles beat the Browns.
They beat the Redskins. So what does that really mean?
No, the Eagles beat the Bears.
I mean the Bills. The Bills just beat the Redskins.
The Skins, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm going to go with the Browns.
They're still winning games, though. Give me the Bills. The Browns are everything I expected going into the season. A bunch of cancers on the team. and it didn't
Are
matter.
they even? Is Odell even playing? I feel like they're not even using him.
No, Baker Mayfield's not throwing him the ball because he doesn't know how to throw the ball. So, having Jarvis Landry and Odell out there at the same time, along with Baker Mayfield's not working. I don't care if it's a home game. The Buffalo Bills are the more poised team. They're 6-2 for a reason, and they're going to be 7-2 after this game. And I think it could be a shellacking, to be honest with you.
Hopefully,
give me the Bills.
If that happens, the Browns they're completely done.
Yeah, give me the Bills. Falcons at Saints. Falcons have a 13-point home favorite.
What happened, Falcons?
They suck.
They're awful. This used to be
the better question is, how did we lose to them?
Injuries, right?
Yeah.
It's on. I mean, at least they were fun. I mean, they've been in almost every game this year, but I mean, damn, they are just, what are they, 1-7?
Yeah.
That's awful. Give me the Saints. They're one of the best teams in the league. Not even questions asked.
Yeah, they're really good. I'll take the Saints as well. Jets are the home underdog. They're the home underdog against the Giants. Who do you got?
I'm gonna have to go with the Giants. They're on a short week. They did do some good things against the Cowboys on Monday night. And the Jets are the Jets. They're back to being a mess, between the whole Jamal Adams almost traded, the Sam Darnold seeing ghosts, the mono, Adam Gase. Why did he even get another job after being the Dolphins coach? Did he really even deserve that job? So I'm with the Giants. They got to get some type of win here. The Giants still suck, but they're better than the Jets.
Yeah, this is the Jets Super Bowl. I'm going to take the Jets against the Giants. I feel like the Jets. Yeah, I feel like the Jets win this game. The Giants absolutely suck. Daniel Jones is a bust. I don't care if it's his first week or not. He looks terrible, and you just hate to see it because all these Giants fans hyping him up after they booed the shit out of him. He's turning into garbage again, and you absolutely hate to see it. So, yeah, give me the Jets.
Let's talk about the Giants. I just want to say one thing. It's just kind of crazy to me. They've been bad for 3 years now. Not even competitive. If that was the Eagles, we'd have our pitchfork out, our flamethrowers. I feel like the Giants, they just don't care that their team's this bad. They have talent, you know what I mean? They have, Golden Tate, Saquon. You're just awful. You're not even in the conversation for anything.
Yeah,
it's really embarrassing, to be honest. And I'm an Eagles fan, and I kind of feel bad
at all. The Giants being this horrible for against us in particular for the last 10 years.
10.
It's been amazing. I hope it never ends as long as I'm alive and as long as I'm alive. So, yeah,
I'm just shocked by it. They're not getting better at all.
No,
you know what I mean? You've lost to Dallas 6 straight times now. That's embarrassing.
That's embarrassing, and you lost to the Eagles a lot. I think the last 10 years, I think they've won a total of 4 games against us.
How can they say anything? I have a bag over my head.
Yeah, they suck. You hate to see it. All right, so I picked the Jets. You picked the Giants. All right, Cardinals versus Buccaneers. The Buccaneers are the home team. 4.5-point favorites at home are the Buccaneers. Who do you got?
This is a really hard game to pick. I think both of these teams are competitive. They're probably the third tier if you're going, teams in the NFC. They both, the Bucks took the Seahawks to overtime on Sunday, and the Cardinals played the 49ers really tough.
Yep.
I think the Buccaneers are due for a win. It's a 1:00 start on the East Coast. The Cardinals come from Arizona. Give me the Bucks because they got to win a game somewhere.
Yeah. The Cardinals just lost last week. The Buccaneers just lost the heartbreaker in Seattle. I feel like coming back to the East Coast is going to be actually beneficial for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and it's not going to be so beneficial for the Arizona Cardinals. Give me the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers bounce back, and the Cardinals continue to trend downhill. They can't be that disappointed, though, because, the Cardinals weren't expected to do much this year. But
they're a lot better than a lot of teams. They're a lot better than the Browns, the Jets. You know what I mean? They might have a little future here. That division is so tough. It sucks they can't be in another division, maybe the AFC. But, I mean, they're playing their ass off to be in a division with the 49ers, the Seahawks, the Rams. They definitely – it's a moral victories. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely moral victories this year for them. But I'm with you, Buccaneers. Chiefs at the Titans. Patrick Mahomes is expected to return this game. The Chiefs are the road favorite at -3.5. Who do you got?
Chiefs here. A great win for them on Sunday over the Vikings. I was talking about this with my mom actually. My mom's a huge football fan.
Yeah.
Shout out to her. She was so happy seeing Patrick Mahomes being so happy for Matt Moore, and that just shows the camaraderie in the locker room. Saying that's how a teammate should act, especially a starting quarterback. So I think they're going to come out fucking on fire, hyped up that Mahomes is back. This should be a blowout. The Titans do play the Chiefs tough, but Chiefs are just a better team than the Titans.
Yeah, I can't disagree. But I'm going to go upset. Patrick Mahomes coming back for this game off of an ankle injury. I feel like he's going to be a little bit rusty. The Titans have looked like absolute dog shit the last couple of weeks. The Titans are due for a win eventually, and I feel like this is a trap game for the Chiefs with Patrick Mahomes coming back. I have the Tennessee Titans winning this game. I really do. Outright.
We disagree on almost that game, which I love it, honestly.
No, it's fun, different opinions. But yeah, that's definitely probably my upset of the week is the Titans against the Chiefs.
Who's the quarterback for the Titans? Is it Tannehill?
Ryan Tannehill, yeah.
And they just lost to the Panthers. But we'll see.
Yep. All right, Dolphins versus Colts. Colts are the 10.5-point favorite at home.
Give me the Colts. Dolphins they just get their first win against the Jets. The Colts lost to the Steelers on that, heartbreaker, missed that field goal. But I think the Colts, they've been really good all year with Jacoby Brissett as their quarterback.
Yep.
And they should beat the Dolphins at home.
Yeah. I agree. The Dolphins stink. Give me the Colts. All right, so we both agree there. Panthers at the Packers. The Packers are the 5-point favorite at home. What do you got?
This is a tough game. We just found out that Cam Newton's on the IR. Can we talk about Christian McCaffrey for a little bit from the Panthers?
Yeah.
He has been my MVP of the season because if they did not have him, this might be a 1-win team, 2-win team.
Yep.
And they're 5-3. So, he's been lights out. I think people are wrong on him coming into the year. He was drafted. What was he drafted? 17? 18?
He was 18? Drafted in 2017. And he was 18. He was drafted in 2018, and he was the 8th pick overall.
And I'm not gonna lie, I never thought he would be this good. He is maybe the best running back in football, and it might not even be close right now.
And I got to be Saquon, but yeah, I'll go pretty close.
Saquon looked like shit on Monday night.
He's hurt though. He's hurt,
but saying all that, I'm gonna take the Packers. I think they bounce back this week. They're at home. It's a 4:25 game. Aaron Rodgers said he was humbled with that loss to the Chargers. The Packers are a good team this year. I'm going to go with the Packers. I think the Panthers, with the Cam Newton news coming, all the pressure is now on Kyle Allen to really kind of be Cam Newton or be better than he's been. I think it's going to affect the locker room that Cam Newton's done. So give me the Packers this week.
Okay. I agree. I think the Packers will bounce back. I do like the Panthers this year, though. You saying that Christian McCaffrey is your MVP this year, I like it, but I disagree with it. I feel like Russell Wilson's going to win the MVP because he's just playing out of his mind.
He really is.
And but I agree with the Packers. Rams at the Steelers. The Steelers are a 3.5-point underdog at home.
This is an interesting game. The Steelers, got the win last week against a pretty decent Colts team. I'm impressed with them facing adversity. Obviously, after Big Ben going down, Mason stepping in, the season hasn't gone complete shit. But they're playing a pretty good Rams team who I think is kind of flying under the radar. They've beaten a couple bad teams, but they're back to being 5-3. The NFC is just so deep. It's kind of insane. Give me the Rams. I know they're going to the East Coast. They're in a warm weather town in LA. But the Rams are just the better team here. The Steelers could probably maybe be a wild card in the AFC. The AFC is not that good, but I think the Rams are a lot better. And Mason Rudolph, can he beat the Rams defense? I don't think so.
No, probably not, especially because they have Jalen Ramsey now. Yeah, I'll take the Rams as well, especially because my friend Cheyenne likes the Steelers, and I hate the Steelers with a passion. So I'll take the Rams on the road. The Rams got a little bit of uplift from Jalen Ramsey. So, yeah, I'm going to go the Rams. I think we're both on the same page there. All right, Sunday Night Football. Vikings at the Cowboys. The Cowboys are a 3-point favorite at home. Who do you got?
Why can't this game be at 1:00?
Yeah.
Seriously, with the Kirk Cousins, all you hear about is he sucks on prime time, can't win a prime time game, can't beat a winning team. Oh, God, this is a really hard game to pick. I'm gonna go with the Vikings though. Kirk Cousins really needs to end that stigma, and I just don't think the Cowboys are that good. They're good enough to beat the Giants. You know what I mean? Obviously, they killed us, which let's just pretend that never happened. Try and erase from our memories, but we can't. I'm going to go with Vikings. Kirk Cousins really needs to show up here. If he loses this game, it's just like this guy is never going to be more than an average starting quarterback.
Yeah.
He needs this win more than the Cowboys do, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, I disagree with the Cowboys aren't a good statement. I mean, they did lose to the Jets, which was pretty bad. But then again, the Jets were kind of
don't you think there's a lot of teams better than them?
Yeah, definitely. I'm not disagreeing with that, but they're definitely not a bad football team. I don't know what it is. Like, I mean, the thing about the Vikings is I don't like Kirk Cousins. I think he sucks.
That's what I'm saying. I know.
Yeah,
but their roster is really good. So I wish this game was at 1 because all the stigma about him not being able to play good on prime time. I mean, the proof is in the pudding. You know what I mean? Like, they're facts. So.
And Loopy said in the comment section, Kirk always loses to Dallas, which is true. I hate the Cowboys so much, but I'm going to have to go Cowboys here. I feel like I can't trust Kirk Cousins on Sunday night. I really can't. And I'm going to have to go Cowboys, which means we're going to have to beat the Pats the week after to stay in
stay on pace, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So you got the Vikings, I got the Cowboys.
Best game for last, right?
Huh?
It's the best game for last on Monday night.
Yep, Seahawks at the 49ers. It's a Richard Sherman reunion with the Seattle Seahawks. The 49ers are 6-point favorites at home. Who do you got?
Well, finally a good Monday night game, thank God, right? I feel like there's been so many stinkers as of late. This is, like I said, this is my game of the week. I'm really intrigued by this game. It could go either way. I'm going to go with the Seahawks. The 49ers almost tripped up against the Cardinals on Thursday. They have had extra time to prepare. What do you think of the 49ers this year? I haven't really talked to you about them. Are they as good as their record says?
Fuck yes, they are. And you know what it is? It's Kyle Shanahan. Kyle Shanahan completely turned that team around. And you could see it because once Kyle Shanahan left the Atlanta Falcons after that epic collapse against the Patriots, the Atlanta Falcons have sucked. Let's be honest. And they've been going downhill ever since. Kyle Shanahan's one of the best coaches in the league, probably the coach of the year right now. The Niners are absolutely nasty on defense. So, yeah, give me the Niners by like 14 points. I have them kicking the shit out of the Seattle Seahawks.
I'm going with this, man. Like I said, Russell Wilson, your MVP. 49ers are just due for a loss. They're not going 16-0. I know this game's in San Francisco, but it's not that far from Seattle, on the same coast, obviously. So give me the Seahawks and I guess an upset, right?
Yep, it would be an upset. You would if you put down $100, you'd get back 220.
Nice. You should do that for me. I can't believe we disagreed on so many games. It's going to be so much fun next week.
It is. It's gonna be awesome. But yeah, we got a name for the show, the Philly Specialist. Thanks to I don't even know his name. Clash with Sane. Clash with Sane. All right.
You never forget that name now, right?
Nope. Philly Specialists. I like it. It has a ring to it. With that being said, this episode was an hour. This podcast was an hour. But a lot of people are asking if we're going to take calls, maybe somewhere down the road. We're going to try to stick to an hour for right now. But if we go over a little bit like we did tonight, it's always a possibility. So with that being said, I'm Kyle, also known as Nitro Freak. That's Scott Bolden, also known as your boy Scotty, but he's going to retire that name. But yeah, first podcast. Hopefully you guys liked it. We'll be back next week. If you like the podcast, smash that thumbs up button, and we'll see you guys next week.
Thanks for having me on the show, Nitro Freak. God bless everybody.
All right. See you guys later.